All right. Well, thanks for joining us again here and online. It's a great thing that we get to be together, and everybody can get more coffee if you need some. Know that it does get cramped in here. If you don't like people, like we've said before, you've came to the wrong place. Anyway, so. We at The Rock, if you're new to us or watching online, we are a place where you can be real with God and your community. There's a lot going on inside of our church, inside, through our church, and many different things. And so one of the things that we value you as a person. We value to get to know you, know your name, know your family. If you come here or you're watching online and you want to just hide out in a church, we will help you find another church, because we're not about that. We're about really doing life together. So one of the things with the growing church, it's easy to fall through the cracks. So what we're going to do today is right after church, we're going to have a picnic. Woo! Here's what's really cool. We're going to have games and all that. But what's really cool is burgers and hot dogs and chips are free to you. Yeah, it's like 5 times better with it free. Amen. But my name is Zach. I'm the lead pastor here. So we just concluded our teaching series on the 5 solas. Last month, you got to hear Stephen Kirk preach, you got to hear Ross preach, and you got to hear Robert preach. Now, I got text messages and also conversations saying, well, you know, Zach, if you keep on, you'll be out of a job. And that's what I want, so that we could start more churches. Amen. Everybody got scared. Not again. No. But, man, it's great to be here. And if you missed any of those messages over the past month, you can check those out on our website, rockchurchspokane.com. And we're going to start this brand new teaching series called Life is Mission. All right? Life is Mission. And what I want you to do is get out the program you were given at the door in the insert. And one other fun thing about today and all summer is we're having family worship. You know, for anybody that's outside of kindergarten, we're having family worship upstairs. And this is a fun time for the kids to get to see what we do as a church. That church isn't boring. Amen. That you can have fun and things. So that's exciting. And kids, if you're here and you're paying attention, don't forget you have your little program too, and you can start taking notes as we're doing that. You got that? Yeah, baby. But anyway, get out the program. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to write down something. Okay? I want you to write down 3 people that you see every week. Now, you can only write down one of your family members, okay? But write down 3 people that you see every week. And let's be real. It may even be somebody you don't like. All right? The list just got bigger. It did. Amen. Yeah. It's a place to be real. So 3 people that you see every week. Could be a neighbor, could be a co-worker, could be a friend. You know, it could be somebody that you message back and forth, whoever it is. Whether you're here or watching online, write down 3 people that you see every week. One person that I see every week is my wife. We like each other this week. No, we love each other. We love doing life together. Another person that I see is a guy that I work with at the hotel. And some of you may not know this, but I'm an electrician by trade, and I work at a hotel doing contract work. And so one person that I see at the hotel is my friend Michael, and hopefully he's watching online. If so, he's going to hate that I called his name out. But I see Michael, and he's a great friend. But then somebody that I also see is a guy at the gas station down the road from my house. I don't know his name, but I know that he drives a green Hummer, and he's not from America. And so I get to see him just about every week. And you may think, well, why do you go down to that store every week? Well, because it gets like 8:30 and I want a Coke. Does anybody else know what that's like? All right, I need a Coke. And like my wife, Nicole, it was 2 days ago, 2 nights ago, she said, we're getting ready to wind down, and she said, I would love a Diet Dr. Pepper right now. That's all it took, and I was gone, you know. But anyway, what we're going to look at today is in this life is mission. We're going to hone in on that, and we're going to see Jesus. We're going to look at this passage in Luke chapter 19, verses 1 through 10. And those of you who have a church background, you've probably heard this here or watched online. But what it is it's this real life account about Zacchaeus. Who knows? Let's see this. Those of you who have a church background, you probably have done this. Who knows the song about Zacchaeus? Zacchaeus was a wee little man, and a wee little man was he. See, y'all know that. Some of you know that, some of you don't. And those of you that don't, you're like, I've come to a weird place. Like, that was weird. And then years from now, y'all say, remember that time we visited that church? It was really cramped, and then they wanted us to sing this song like we didn't know. Zacchaeus, but you'll remember that, right? And so Zacchaeus, here's what I want us to see as we go through the passage. Are y'all ready? Here we go. We're going to look at this. Luke chapter 19, starting verse 1. He being Jesus, he was living his life. He was getting towards the end of his life. He entered Jericho for the last time of his life and was passing what? Through. He was passing through. Jesus was just doing his thing. He was just living life. And that's like us. Every day we wake up and we go and do something. You know, it may be, we may stay at the house, but at least we do something. Now, have you ever woke up, got to the end of your day, and somebody said, "Oh, what did you do today?" And you're like, "I don't know." Yeah. You ever done that? Those of you watching online, have you done that? Like, man, it's sometimes those days are okay. But what I want us to see is that life is precious and life is valuable. And I would think one big sin that I've had in my life, and I would say that we would be more like than we realize, is that we've wasted some of our life. You ever felt that way? Does anybody complain? The real complainers didn't raise their hand. I see your Facebook post. You ever woke up and said, "Here we go again. I'm going to that crap hole called a job"? You ever done that? Yeah. Jesus, he was just going. He was passing through. But as he was doing this, look at verse 2. There was a man named Zacchaeus who was a chief tax collector, and he was what? Rich. He had a PlayStation 4, Xbox One. He had everything. He had, check this. If he lived today, he probably had Hulu, Netflix and Amazon Prime. Like yeah, Michelle, you know that's like we like he had. If he lived it, he had it all because he was a tax collector. Now, here's what they did. They collected money for Rome, and say the tax was $700 for our case, $700. Say they went to pay their tax, and it was $700. The tax collectors would say that would be $1,000. Guess where that other $300 went? In his pocket. It's kind of like a pyramid scheme thing. Right? So he was rich because he stole from people. Now here's the thing. The tax collector was a traitor to his nation. The Jews did not like them because they were working for the enemy. So he was already hated. The religious people of the day, they didn't like tax collectors, not just the religious people, anybody in that day. But there was one guy, his name was Matthew. He wrote one of the accounts of the Gospels in the New Testament. He wrote the book of Matthew. He was a tax collector. But Jesus changed his life. So think about this. Zacchaeus, he was hated by just about everybody except the Romans and Jesus. I don't know if you know this, but there's this little phrase. And if you have a church background, you've probably heard this before. But Jesus, friend of sinners. Now that gives us hope because we are sinful. And we are more sinful than we could ever imagine. When we think, I've went too far in my life, and you think, I can't screw up anymore, wait till next week. Right? Wait till next week. Wait until you go to Walmart and no one's checking anybody out. Amen. Gosh. But Zacchaeus was hated, he was rich, but Jesus